Hello and welcome back to another Trader Tip of the Trade for a Living series here at TradeSmart University. In this Trader's Tip, we're going to talk about how to plan your trade. So here's my question for you. What do you think is the most important thing a trader can do to increase his or her profits? If you were to think about that question, what is the most important thing a trader can do? And here's the answer. Are you ready for it? Plan your trades. It's the most important thing you can do as a trader, and ironically, it's one of those things that very few people take the time to actually do. Let's talk about why. The reason we want to plan our trades is, first of all, it puts boundaries on your trades. You know, as a trader, we're constantly being bombarded with various emotional ins and outs of the market. And when you start a trade off and you've got a plan before you ever get into a trade, it puts some boundaries on that trade so that you're not as likely to get sucked into those emotional pools up and down in the marketplace. Another reason you want to plan is because when you have a plan, you've got a standard. You got something that you can hold your actions against. You know, this is so important as a trader, to have a standard that you can sit there and say, I did this according to this plan, or I didn't do it. That gives you a standard. That way you can start to make progress and you can measure your results. And then another reason that we want to plan our trade is because with a plan, you know what to do before you get into the trade. And that's going to give you all the power in the world, having a good idea of what to do when you get into the trade before it ever happens. What happens if the trade goes bad? Where am I going to, pull the plug and say this trade is done? Where am I going to get out of the trade? What's my target going to be? You know, old adage goes like this. It says, failure to plan is planning to fail. And a lot of people say this saying regarding a lot of things, but in the world of trading, nothing could be more true. It is truly one of the most important things you could do. So let me give you kind of a quick roadmap here. You know, planning doesn't have to be complicated. It does not have to be hard. It's really quite simple. But there's 3 pieces of information you must have before you have a trading plan. 3 pieces of information you have to have. Now, you could make your trading plan more complicated than this, but these 3 pieces of information are absolutely essential, and they are as follows. Number 1, you've got to have your entry price. This is the price you're going to get into the trade. That is your entry price. Number 2, you've got to have your target. You've got to know where you're going to be trading this stock to, or at least have a pretty good idea of where that target is going to be. And then finally, you need to identify your stop. And of course, the stop is where you'll get out of the trade in the event the trade goes bad. Now, here's what you've got to understand about the entry, the target, and the stop. Having these 3 pieces of information before you get into the trade gives you a trading plan. If you don't have these, then you don't have a complete trading plan. And, I talk to people all the time that are in trades and they have no idea where to get out. They don't know where to get out if the trade is good. They don't know where to get out if the trade is bad. And consequently, what happens is they'll end up holding a trade for way too long. Oftentimes, it was actually a good trade, but they held it for way too long. Let me show you what I'm talking about here, and you can get a pretty good idea of what it means to have a trade where you've got a complete trading plan already laid out. Let's take a look over here at ExxonMobil. This is a trade that we've got set up here. And notice I've already drawn in here a target. This is called a trigger. I said a target. I meant an entry. It's called a trigger order here, but you see it's $100.37. So we know if the stock comes above this price point, we're going to trigger this trade at $100.37. Now, the next thing you're going to notice is we've got a target in here at $104.79. Now, how did we come up with that? Well, we simply looked over here to the left and we said that's where our resistance is coming in. And so if the trade gets up here to 104.79, we're going to take our profit. And then you also notice that we've got a stop in here at $98.15. So if the stock comes down and hits 98.15, that's a breach below our recent support levels. Well, if that happens, then we're going to get out of this trade. So now you've got a complete trading plan. We've got an entry, $100.37. We've got a target, $104.79. And, of course, we've got a stop here at $98.15. Now, here's the great news. You can turn right around and put it on your trading journal. This is a journal we use here at TradeSmart. You can use this one or you can use any other variety that you like. We've got this one set up so you can have both a bullish and a bearish trade set up. But here's what we're going to do. Up in the upper left corner up here, I'm going to type in the ticker symbol XOM. That's for ExxonMobil. Now watch here in the date area. We'll just put the date in here, 8/21/2014. Put the current price of $99.39, and then here's our trading plan. You ready? Our entry price, boom, there's where our $100.37 goes. We got our target, and we've got our stop, and we've got it all documented and laid out before we ever get into the trade. Now, if you come down to the bottom here, you're going to notice that for the bearish trade setup, we've basically got the same thing. I've drawn dashes in here because we're not setting a bearish trade up. But if this were a bearish trade up, you would set it up the exact same way. Notice we've got the entry price, we got the target, and the stop. You notice that these go inverse to what the bullish trade does. That's because with the bearish trade, you'll have an entry, and then, of course, your target will be below your entry point, and your stop will be above it. Anyway, this is how you start to set your trading plan up anytime you get into a trade. This is the basic, most minimal information. If you don't have this information, you do not have a trading plan, and of course, without a plan, you are planning to fail. If you think this is interesting, you'd like to learn some more about trading plans, well, I got some great news for you. You can always watch some more of these trader tips here in the Trade for a Living series from TradeSmart, or how about coming on over to TradeSmart University, TradeSmartU.com. Check out our TradeSmart All Access membership, where you can have access to all of our online training, hundreds of hours of training, all on demand, one monthly price. You want to learn more about trading plans, you want to learn about option trading, stock trading, anything you want to learn about, we've got it over here at TradeSmartU.com. So go ahead, come on over to www.TradeSmartU.com, check us out, and we look forward to seeing you in some of our live classes. Until next time, happy trading.